Of course. Okay, so you see how the text is blue? Let's see if that means anything. Now, I can't see anything about it. I started with Ficino's Corpus Hermeticum, and my interest only deepened from there. You know, something funny, by the way, just about occultism, the background that I picked. There was this... I read this in Bill Bryson's Brief History of Almost Everything, and Newton, right, who is one of the greatest minds to ever lived, at least, you know, in terms of Western science and mathematics. Somebody found like a whole chest full of his notes, and it went up for auction, and this person bought them, like all of these papers and documents of Newton's. And it was like something ridiculous, some percentage that was upwards of 50% of the documents that they had found of Newton's were about alchemy. And Newton was like hard into alchemy. Like, even though you get like Newtonian physics and completely revolutionary, legitimate stuff from Newton, he was like convinced to the end about and I mean like full on transmuting lead into gold alchemy, like all about it. So I wonder how much Ficino was into some questionable stuff. Let's see here. Corpus Hermeticum. A compilation of 17 religious and philosophical treatises encompassing the soteriology of Hermes Trismegistus, or the thrice great Hermes. The centuries-old texts reflect Egyptian, Greek, and Jewish traditions and ideas, and were translated into Latin in the late 15th century by Marsilio Ficino and Lodovico Lazzarelli. Nice. I like this. All right. My interest only deepened. Quite interesting, Andreas. I'll make some time to speak with you more on this topic during my stay, after I call the guard to arrest you. I look forward to it, my lord. As you wish, my lord. Please be discreet about it, my lord. I'm just going to say as you wish. And your other studies, was there anything else you excelled at? Oh, more choices. Okay, I get to pick another topic. All right, so my previous ones that I was looking at that I thought jumped off the page at me were either logician or orator, and I like orator because, you know, as an English professor, I teach rhetoric all the time, so this could be good, orator. The art of persuasion, naturally. Rhetoric, as Aristotle defines it. Ah, I assumed you studied the Greeks and Romans both. Yes, Aristotle and Cicero, of course, but also Christian thinkers like Augustine and Thomas Aquinas. All right. Augustine, St. Augustine of Hippo, was an early Christian philosopher, theologian, and bishop of Hippo Regius. He is recognized as a doctor of the church and is most known for his works, The City of God and his autobiographic Confessions, as well as his development of the doctrine of original sin. Yeah, that's a great addition. Thanks a lot for that one. Yeah, exactly, Fading. That's a good overlap, right? I just have to talk my way out of being burned at the stake, too. So, you know, I need to have some slippery words to not get tortured by the church. Thomas Aquinas, an immensely influential philosopher, theologian, and jurist in the tradition of scholasticism. Fantastic. True, we have less use for public discourse than senators did in the Roman Republic. Exactly. The doctors of the church weren't trying to persuade politicians, but to move the mind toward Christian truth. Still, the principles remain the same. Invent your arguments, then arrange, style, and internalize them before delivering them to your audience. Splendid, though I suppose an artist has little use for rhetoric, especially in a place such as this. Exactly, Sir Theodore. Why'd you do all that stuff? But what do you mean? I just got born. No, 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 no. Before that, you're guilty. Isn't it amazing how many centuries that little twist changed things for people's lives? Not true. Rhetoric is also an art, and like other forms of art, it should be created for the audience and its purpose. It can be practiced as easily in the streets of a rural town as in the Curia of Rome. Rome, though outshone by its northern neighbor Florence, Rome is still the seat of power for the Catholic Church and an impressive center for the arts. Indeed. Well put. Of course it's well put, because it's rhetoric, right? It's funny, when I was in grad school and we had a class where we were talking about rhetoric, it became, and the place of English composition and the instruction of rhetoric at the university as a whole, it became such an interesting point that basically English will be a part of the university curriculum as long as rhetoric, which is what we teach, is strong enough to persuade the powers that be that it still holds a seat of significance within the university proper as a requirement for all students to get that liberal arts education, or at least what, semblance remains of the classic liberal arts education in the universities and colleges that exist. Some leaning harder into that than others. But for example, some departments have an existential crisis on their hands within modern universities, like classics and philosophy, for example. Ah, there's the Abbey. I have good memories of this place, and of Father Matthias. I was sad to hear of his passing. How did you come to know him? How did you come to know of Kirsau at all? My family have been patrons of Kirsau for, I don't know how many generations. Some years ago, I heard that Kirsau still had a wonderful library and artisans. Professional artists have taken over most manuscript production, so I was shocked to find an active scriptorium here. See, and this is what is interesting about this, because at the beginning of the game, when I saw it, I was thinking of monks doing the manuscript work, doing the transcription, illuminating the texts. But I guess kind of a cultural point that they're making here is that not only as the technology of the printing press emerges and kind of like outmodes handwriting, but as the demand for texts and the standards of the text within the church, as the church gains more affluence, it's no longer sufficient for just some like journeyman monk to do the manuscript production. Like, you actually outsource that to artists because you have quality demands that just like monks in training can't produce. So it's kind of interesting to imagine that, like, as I was saying, like when I was working, with some of the Beowulf stuff, like those monks, or like the Venerable Bede and things like that, they might not have had the same level of funding, although Bede did. Bede had purportedly the access to the best library in the Western world at the time, and quote-unquote best library for the Venerable Bede was like something around 70 to 100 books. Some people said it was way higher than that, like he had 700 books, but I saw some documentary that said that was an inflation. Anyway, church gets more and more power and money. Now we're hiring artists. Well, there's not much left of it these days. 2 old men, a young scribe, and me. This is as good a place as any to create art. The artists that remain here are quite talented, if a bit old-fashioned. Okay, I'm going to say this one. Well, Curso is more than a bit old-fashioned. Some of my friends think I'm mad for commissioning a manuscript from an abbey in this day and age. But, well, my family have been patrons of Curacao for generations. It seems wrong to stop now while there's still talent here. And again, there's a autocorrect from the scribe. I commissioned a manuscript through Father Guerneau a year ago. I thought I would stop by and check on the progress. And I wonder, if we've kind of deduced basically that the font changing reflects the level of education or maybe even the intelligence or just breadth of knowledge of the speaker. I wonder if the misspellings that are corrected are also a statement about that character's intelligence, or if the same hand is doing all of this work and the misspellings are universal across all characters. Wait, are you the artist working on it? It's a prayer book with 20 illustrations. I know the work, but no. I do know the artist well. The venerable Brother Piero. Piero. There he is. God, he looks venerable. Beautiful man. How venerable? He's 110. He still has his wits and his skills, if that's what concerns you. Brother Piero has an incredible talent with color. Then I very much look forward to seeing it. Dude's walking on by. Here we go. And we have arrived at the guest house at the Abbey. Miklaus, tend to the horses and the baggage. I'm heading up to the Abbey. Yes, my lord. Yep, see, like this guy is handwritten. Sorry, Miklaus. We didn't have time to teach you to read. You're busy with the horses, apparently. Well, let's not keep the Babbitt waiting any longer. Oh, that's an embarrassing faux pas. I'm going to tell him you call him the Babbitt. Oh, here's the sisters. Oh, God, they're running away. Nuns. Quite unusual for a Benedictine house to have monks and nuns, even if they are separated. Let's get that Benedictine flavor. Founded in the 6th century, the Benedictines are a Christian monastic order that observes vows of obedience, poverty, chastity, and stability under the rule of Saint Benedict of Nursia. Wow. That's a lot of difficult vows. The church closed most of them centuries ago, but then Curacao is a place out of time in more ways than one. Do you know Mother Cecilia? She seemed to recognize you. Why were they closed? Say nothing. Oh, I'm probing. Mother Cecilia. We are acquainted. Yes, let's leave it at that. Oh, look who it is. It's the big boy. You must be Father Guerneau. I am Lorenz, Baron of... Oh, look at this guy's text. Yes, the Baron of Rothvogel. So wonderful to have you here again. We actually did meet on your last visit. Wow. Ah, if you say so. I'm not good with remembering faces. Please forgive me, my lord, but I wasn't expecting you for another few days. Oh, misspelling. Corrected. Yes, I know, but I wrote ahead. I just couldn't wait to see my manuscript. I'm sure it's no trouble. Well, there's 20 illustrations that need to be finished. The Venerable Piedro's, let's just say he's on 2 out of 20. Well, he's putting the finishing touches on, and it's going to be another couple years here. Well, yes, I mean, no, it's no trouble. Did you want to see it now? He's got a frown on his face. Oh, in a moment. I could do with a bit of refreshment, though. May I grab something from the kitchen? You know we practice poverty here. We don't have any actual food. Dot, dot, dot. Yes, yes, certainly, my lord. I will meet you there. He's like, yeah, I came to just take your food. Andreas, I don't know what you were doing with the Baron, but I need you in the scriptorium now. Of course, Father, I'm eager to get to work. Why are you taking this out on me? He's not my problem. Is this a bad time to ask for an advance on my payment for the Book of Hours? This is sweet. Look, I know you're like kind of a little upset right now that I brought this dude to you, but can I get a little bit of extra cash from the coffers? Of course, Father, I'm eager to get to work. Then get to work. Oh, he's running. Crap. I should have asked him about an advance for the Gertner's taxes. Well, I thought it was a bad time. Maybe I could just convince Brother Matteo to pay me earlier. Who's this guy? Oh my god. Look at this guy's eyeglasses. Sweet. We're looking for spectacles. I need two things. A tonsure and some spectacles. I put those two things together and I'm on it. Now, I'll tell you what. Luckily, I chose orator, so I can persuade this guy all day long. All right, I need to find a way to get paid. Let's look around. Can I go here? I don't know if things pass time, so I can go to the map, right? Oh wow, look how big the Abbey area is. My goodness, this game is enormous. All right. It does say prime hour 6. So it looks like time isn't maybe passing. I need to find a way to get an advance from the Abbey so I can help the Gertners pay their taxes. Which would be funny because they're paying it to the Abbey. So it's like, hey, Abbey, I need money so I can give it to these people so they can give it to you for the taxes. Father Gano might be receptive to a negotiation for the funds. I'll need to approach the subject carefully and make it worth his while. Or I could speak with Brother Matteo about an early payment for my manuscript. All right, what's in the shrine? Who's in here? Oh, look at this. Okay, that's a nice picture. Is that holy figure there wearing a beret? I don't know what kind of a hat that is. Or maybe it's like one of those hot water bottles, you know, on his head. Got a headache. Okay, who we got here? Marguerite, what's up? Bless you, brother. Piero, oh, she's blind. No, wait, it's Master Mahler. I thought you couldn't see, Sister Marguerite. During the day, I can see some colors. How did you know it was me? You and Brother Piero both smell of the pigments you use, but you're taller and you have another smell to you, like fish or burned almonds. You know, I'm going to give you some information that you don't need or want, but I was reading another book by Bill Bryson called The Body, A Guide for Occupants, and he's talking about the senses, different parts of the body, like what the nose does and what we know about it. Anyway, with sense of smell is wild. We know very little about it, and there's not that many people who actually study it, but when they try to make things chemically smell like something, like bananas or whatever, they try different chemical compositions to create like synthetic smells. For whatever reason, there's a huge amount of chemical mixtures that just smell like burned almonds, like way more than there need to be. Like for whatever reason, like just like everything they make, they're like, yeah, it's burned almonds. So it is kind of funny that she mentions burned almonds. Oh, that's old linseed oil, popular among the Italians, but Brother Piero doesn't use it. I'm also much more handsome. Hey, hey, you know what I mean, blind nun? I'm going to do the linseed oil one. I'll ask Sister Gertrude about it. How are Sister Gertrude's herbs coming? It's too early to tell. Most of them won't be grown until May. Still, working with herbs suits me. Have a good day, Sister Marguerite. All right, so she's on the herbs. Bless you. God bless you. All right, thanks for that. What's that? Brother Matteo maintains this shrine along with some of the sisters who paint badges for pilgrims. Oh, okay, so they paint badges and sell them. That little picture appears to be a skull. It's just a table full of candles, and over it, there is only what appears to be a ovular framed skull picture. Beautiful. Let's see. Upper Abbey. What's this? A reliquary containing the hand of Saint Moritz, which is said to have once held the Holy Lance. Oh my God. Do we need his hand? All right, let's see if we can get the... oh, I gotta wait for it to fill in the details. I want the Holy Lance. What's the Holy Lance? Give me this information. Saint Moritz. He's the patron saint of Tessing. Oh, okay. So he's our patron saint, and we've got his hand. That makes sense. Legend states he was the Egyptian-born commander of a Roman legion who converted to Christianity. Huh. Like Augustine, they were all martyred for their faith. His hand is a relic in Cursow's shrine. You know, I'm not going to say too much about this, but you're looking for something for a reliquary, and you need, like, you know, a hand or something. That's a good one to pick, because I don't know if they had, like, the science. Fingerprinting wasn't a thing until, like, the 19th century. I mean, you know, to really connect the hand to you could just find anybody's hand. Like, yeah, it's St. Moritz's hand right here. This is a dog's paw. Yeah, I just put it in the box. It's his hand. Yeah, I can get you a hand by 3 p.m. today with nail polish. So it you know, it's like the head is a good one. Like if you get a fresh head, okay, we're not disputing it. That's definitely the Egyptian board commander's head. But hand, yeah, it's a little, you know, the provenance on that is a little more dubious, if you know what I mean. Holy Lance. Also called the Spear of Destiny, or, oh, God, is there an Assassin's Creed where this Holy Lance is a feature? There's some game I was playing with the Spear of Destiny. What? You know, where they talk about it like this. Also called the Spear of Destiny, or the Lance of Longinus. It is the lance that pierced Jesus' side on the cross. Oh. Many legends surround the lance, and several places claim to possess it. See, this is another thing, right? Where it's like, yeah, we got this guy's hand, and we got the lance, and it's the Spear of Destiny, and, you know. Yeah, we definitely have the Spear of Destiny here. All right, and Lizbeth. I'm not saying that right. I'm just calling her Lizbeth. Oh, look at her text. She is right well educated. God bless you. Ooh, Gertrude. She looks like a Matryoshka doll. God bless you, Master Mahler. She's a very jovial and rotund sister. How goes your work in the scriptorium? It's great. Looks like I took off my hat when I went into the shrine. Very well, thank you. Oh, then I guess you wouldn't be interested in the Saffron Agnes Steinarium received... Agnes? Who's Agnes? Oh, God. All right, there she is. No, I need the saffron. What? Saffron? Really? Where'd you hear that? Sister Matilda saw her at the Albans. Where's Matilda? All right, I'll try to push. She's got like a mole. It's like Cindy Crawford. All right. Cindy Crawford nun. Maybe you can convince Prior Farnick to get some for your yellows. I don't think I'm convincing this guy of much. Good to know. How's Mossfanger? Mossfanger sounds like a local metal band, but I doubt it. It's a woman. Oh God, I've bungled that one. She's around here somewhere, hopefully getting the Abbey rabbits before Sister... Getting to the baby rabbits before Sister Matilda does. Until later, Sister Gertrude. Bless you, Andreas. Maybe I'll see you by the shrine of Saint Satia one of these days. Saint Satia is another patron saint of Tassing. Satia was a local pagan who converted to Christianity and miraculously aided St. Maritz's soldiers with food in the dead of winter. She was martyred for her actions. God. I mean, I know saints have to, there's a rigorous process for getting canonized as a saint, as I understand it. And martyrdom is a good one. So Saint Satia converted to Christianity, like St. Moritz, and she gave him some food, and for giving them food, she was martyred. Wow. That's a sad story there. All right, I'm out. Take me out. All right, let's see. What's this over here? The convent garden. There's a baby rabbit. Again, I don't know if time is passing and I should go right to the quest, but I kind of feel like just exploring around. Oh man, this place is enormous. Ah, feverfew. It always smells so fresh. Sister Gertrude is wise to have some in the garden. Let's see her picture. Yep, that's Gertrude. All right. Oh, here's this lady. Matilda. Let's ask her. Bless you, Master Mahler. I need that saffron, lady. How you doing? Mother Cecilia doesn't like us talking to men unless it's necessary to perform our work. Ah, good point, Episcopat. Thank you for noticing that. Yes, you're right. So because of that character choice that we made and our medicine background, that observation came to us because we know it's a good herb in medicine. Not necessarily necromancy, but perhaps. Mother Cecilia, which one is this? Oh, yeah, the lady with the big cross around her neck. What are we going to do about Maria? Am I right, Matilda? Ah, forgive me. Sorry to bother you. Yeah, that's right. You got to help the zombs. Thank you, Master Mahler. Look, I'm here. I was told I can just take saffron. The sisters certainly keep their garden well tended. Indeed. All right. And, oh, I can kind of walk up here. Sophie! Bless you, Master Mahler. How are things going in the nun's kitchen? I mean, no offense, Master Mahler, but I cannot speak with men. Ah, my apologies. God bless you. And you as well, sister. Oh. I think you're right, Episcopat. Is Mousefanger, is it like Mouse Killer? Or Mouse Fingers? Mouse Hands? What does this mean? Yep. Mouse Biter? Ah, right, fangs. In the dream that we had, they did say that I shouldn't talk to the nuns. Ah, the many-petaled cinquefoil. It grows so easily, some consider it a weed. I don't consider it that. Tassing is lucky to have so much woundwort naturally growing. I had to buy it back in Nuremberg. Hey, Nudep, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, she must be. I'm going in. What do we got? Sister Gertrude dries and stores all of her herbs here. She sure does. Look at this place. This is a very peaceful garden. I like it. This is the convent Loquarium. The Upper Abbey. Let's look at the map. Where do I need to go? Oh, that's not the right button for the map. Let me see the map. Okay, I'm in way over here. Oh god, I'm so far from the scriptorium. I should probably head over to the scriptorium. I could dilly-dally all day, but I think I'm going to get in trouble. Was there a cat with a jetpack? I missed that. Oh, in the book? Oh, it is a jetpack cat, Sir Theodore. Yeah, these animals are hilarious. It's like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride there, that frog with the red cap. I always like those medieval paintings or even Renaissance paintings where the artists will like try to depict animals that they've never seen before, you know? Like, so it'll be like they want to paint lions or whatever, and they've read a description of a lion, and so they do their best, and it's like not a lion, even close, but it's funny. All right, let's cloister or church. Do I need to go? Where do I need to go for the scriptorium?